Hi everybody, Bob with Knivestown here. Today we're going to take a look at a knife from Tops. This is the Tops Mission Team 21 knife. I suppose it's kind of a crossover knife. It fills the genre of combat, tactical, survival. It could fit into any one of those categories. It ships with the standard Tops ballistic nylon sheath. Which comes with two retainer straps here that are Velcro. They hold the knife securely. One is a wide one and one is a narrow one, like that. So they're quick release, and quick to close them. Two there. Also has a pocket on the front, which you can put anything you want in there. Whetstone, personal survival kit, knife, fire starter. It does come with a Tops survival whistle, and that is a very high-pitched, piercing sound that does travel a great distance. That snaps with a lock there. It's got a elastic band there to keep the contents in. It is adjustable. So if you really want to pack out that, you can adjust this and it'll fill up to the full contents. It does come with some paracord, and it is MOLLE compatible, so you can attach this on MOLLE gear in any way you want, like that. It does have the standard belt loop there, and it can be tied down, of course, on your leg with the tie down there. And it does have a plastic insert to keep the knife rigid there. Opening it up, the knife will accept the knife in both directions, so there's no issue with that. Although it's a little better in the right-handed position, but it's a good solid sheath. Real good. They've been making these for a long time, and they ship a lot of their knives with this exact sheath, and it's really a good option. Works very well. The knife itself, there you go. Yeah, let's take that in. It is a blade of 6 3/4 inches. The cutting surface, actual cutting surface though, beginning here, it is 5 3/4 inches of cutting surface. But it is the reach is 6 3/4. The blade steel is typically the 1095 high carbon steel that Tops makes these knives with. That's a great tough steel. It'll absorb a lot of shock, and it's very durable. Very good in hard use situations. It is 1/4 of an inch thick. 1/4 of an inch thick, so that's of course a very good thickness. That'll really give you a lot of power and strength in whatever you're doing. Won't let you down. It's not going to break. So you've got to, and of course, obviously it's full tang all the way through. The handle, it just mimics the shape of the handle. It's complete full tang. It does have a swedge at the top, so that does aid in piercing. If you're worried about that 1/4 of an inch thickness not being good for piercing, don't worry about it. This swedge at the top does help that a lot. And in fact, this knife was tested for piercing with 1-inch phone books, and this knife did pierce through 1-inch phone books. There you get the look at the blade up there a little bit better. You can see the black traction coating there on the blade, and that is to protect the steel, to protect it and to keep it from corroding or rusting, since it is 1095. You can see it's got jimping on 2 levels there, and that's for 2 different holds. the traditional hold or the choked up hold. There's a better shot of the thickness there. Comes nice and sharp. I mean, you'd be surprised how sharp that knife is for such a thick blade. It's got a flat grind that begins about at the halfway point, and it comes down to the secondary bevel and then just makes a real sharp edge. It's a very sharp knife. It has green micarta handles, scales, and they've been rounded like Tops typically does on their knives. There's not a right angle on the handle. I mean, this is the smoothest handle that you've ever felt. It's so comfortable. There's not a hot spot. There's no no edges. See, everything is rounded. It's got the spacers in there. This acts as a finger guard, and then it goes into the choil for your choked up, your hold where you're holding it higher up on the blade in order to get some detail work. So there's that type of a hold for this, or you're holding it back for just traditional work or chopping, that kind of thing. The weight of this knife is 1 pound 1 ounce, just the knife alone. The knife and sheath kit is 1 pound 6 ounces. The balance point is just right in front of the scale. So when you have it in your hand, it feels blade heavy, but that's really just because of this finger guard here kind of limiting your motion. It is fairly well balanced for such a heavy knife and for such a big blade. But it's certainly good for, you can do some light chopping with this, not a problem at all. Obviously you can do batoning with it. I mean, this is a great wilderness knife, camp knife. It's a good knife for urban survival, opening tin cans, prying doors. This would be an excellent choice for a bug out bag. If there was one knife you needed, and you could only carry one knife, I'm not sure how you could do better than this one. The shape of the blade it's got that really useful for anything type of shape, I mean, a lot of the knives you see, they've been so heavily designed that their use is almost limited a little bit. But a knife with a blade like this, I mean, that, like I was saying at the start, this could be a combat knife. It could be a survival wilderness knife. It could be just a utility knife, around on the farm or whatever. It could be a tactical knife. Certainly it would do well in a defensive situation. It is really a jack of all trades. So I really like this knife. I like the way it's been designed and the shape of it. And I like the possibilities that you can do with this knife. This knife was designed with the cooperation of Bill Hill. He is a retired SEAL Team 3 Commander Master Chief. So he knows his stuff, and he worked with Tops in the design of this knife. Really feels nice in the hand. The handle is a little bit narrower, I think, than a lot of the others that they make, and because of that, it allows you to get your grip is completely enclosing the knife, and that in addition to the finger grips there, I mean, that gives you such a good grip on this knife. And if you've got a smaller hand, if you tend to have a smaller hand, this would be a perfect knife also for that because of that. Yeah. All right. A great all-around knife, as tough as they come, as tough as nails. You'll never be able to give this knife anything it can't take. Comes with a great sheath. That's the Tops Mission Team 21. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.